fine, Gavin.
You got the money?
What are you talking about? We're all in the same gang.
Finder's fee.
Yeah, I got your money. What'd you find out anyway, damn it?
Them O'Driscoll boys were drunk as tarnation, spouting a couple of bounty hunters that got to him. It's the best lead we've got.
All right.
It's a long ride.
So, I got stores.
Let's hear him then.
Operating under the oversight and funding of Capcom, Angel Studios began work on a spiritual successor to the badass arcade game Gun.Smoke. However, in 2002, Take-Two Interactive acquired Angel Studios, renamed it Rockstar San Diego, and bought the rights to Red Dead Revolver after Capcom canceled it in 2003.
Why does your voice sound funny?
Well, how do all the great orders sound? When you tell a story, you gotta tell it right.
I'm just saying. Your voice sounds all different. Your voice is all high-pitched.
Will you just shut up and let me tell my story? Damn.
Rockstar San Diego finished the game in 2004, and the first game in the Red Dead series would release.
And I never played it.
While the game was by no means a smash hit, having sold nearly 1 million copies by 2010, in 2005, Rockstar greenlit a spiritual successor to the spiritual successor, Red Dead Redemption.
Which I also didn't play. I'm just being honest. I heard it's really good though.
That might be an understatement, actually. The game received widespread critical acclaim when it released in 2010, winning Game of the Year from many outlets.
This is the portion where I talk about Red Dead 1 briefly, but since I haven't played it...
So, in 2016, a prequel was announced, Red Dead Redemption 2.
Wait, prequel? 2? Anyways, the game was released in 2018, so let's talk about it.
The game starts with the Vanderlyn gang escaping after a botched ferry heist in the town of Blackwater. Something major went wrong and multiple members of the gang died, including...
Davy's dead.
You thought my place was perpetually haunted, but turns out I was the ghost all along.
What a twist. And worst of all, they had to abandon a giant stash of money from the heist they'd all hidden, which would have allowed them to retire from the outlaw life. And here you are, atop a cold-ass mountain where everything is beautiful. So damn slow.
I just want to learn how to play the game. Why do I have to move slower than molasses?
Also, it's important to note another thing you'll notice right away. Now, I've been playing games since I was just 2 years old. If one were so inclined, they could even say that at this point in my life,
just pick the game.
I know how to hold a controller and use it. So, when I tell you that the controls of this game are absolute hot garbage, what I mean to say is...
Controls? What are you talking about? What do you mean by controls? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, I was just trying to talk to you.
Just trying to talk? You just shot at me.
I know. It was a god-honest mistake. It's these damn controls.
What are you talking about?
What I'm trying to say is...
They're overly complicated, every button means 3 things, and sometimes when you try to talk to somebody, I don't know, you'll just shoot them. Look, I stopped doing this by the end of the game, but this mistake has happened to so many people I know, it's worth pointing out. The first mission introduces us to the characters and acts as a tutorial. Dutch Vanderlyn is the leader of the gang. He's both charismatic and seems to genuinely care about everyone in his gang, as well as their safety.
Now, if I could throw myself in the ground in their stead, I'd do it, gladly.
You play as Arthur Morgan, who at first glance seems like your typical outlaw both in his looks and demeanor. He was raised by Dutch, growing up in the life. The two of you head out to look for other gang members who are scouting ahead and come across a homestead, only to find out there's dead bodies outside and your rival outlaw gang, the O'Driscolls, have murdered the previous occupants and widowed the only remaining one, Sadie Adler.
Damn O'Driscolls!
Yep.
After a shootout with the gang, Arthur and Dutch save Sadie and make an important distinction about your band of outlaws.
We're bad men. We ain't them.
They turned her into a widow. Animals.
Which is an incredibly important thing to note. While, as Arthur says, the gang is bad and does bad things, they're not all completely irredeemable, unlike those damn O'Driscolls. After raiding an O'Driscoll encampment, you'll save the protagonist of the first game and member of your gang, John Marston, and come across information about a train carrying bonds owned by the wealthy oil magnate Leviticus Cornwall. While the gang had retreated in order to lay low and avoided tensions so they're not captured or killed, Dutch decides it would be a great idea to rob the train anyways.
Yeah, maybe Dutch isn't as wise a leader as I thought.
Dutch's right-hand man and co-conspirator, the wise Hosea, who's typically heavily involved in the going-ons of the gang, protests heavily to this, but Dutch's orders are the law.
I am the law.
So you get a great mission involving you jumping onto a train with fellow outlaw Lenny, which gives you a general idea of what you'll be up to in Red Dead Redemption 2. As you're an Old West outlaw, you'll find yourself robbing trains, banks, and stagecoaches, lassoing and hog-tying enemies, gambling on ferry boats, dealing with post-Civil War issues, and dueling against famous gunslingers. And all of this around a beautiful western canvas set in various fictional states resembling real-world locations. Finishing up the train robbery, you'll finally head off of the damn snowy mountain eastward and towards a new campsite to hide out at Horseshoe Overlook, as you'll spend a lot of time traveling via horseback from one location to another, and when I say that, I mean like, seriously, a lot of fucking time. It was nice to be able to have great scenery to look at while doing so, which in turn also helps you feel like you're living during the Western era.
And while some people have complained about how slow things can be, it actually helped genuinely immerse me in the game, and I'm glad Rockstar took that risk.
As you do spend so much time traveling, the game allows you to set a waypoint, turn on a cinematic camera, and just mindlessly tap X to travel to your destination. Shit!
Okay, maybe the cinematic angle isn't great.
Each chapter of the game takes place at a new campsite for the band of outlaws, and Chapter 2's Horseshoe Overlook essentially acts as a giant tutorial, with each mission teaching you different things such as hunting, fishing, or wrangling sheep, and you'll frequently be brought into the game's first town, Valentine. Valentine, which is probably my favorite town in the game, as it has that classic old western look and vibe. Being in Valentine, you'll be able to— Oh shit! I was just trying to talk to you! Shit! It was a mistake! The controls are terrible!
Why does it do this?
We cool, dude? We cool? Fuck you! Fuck you! I told you it was a mistake!
Some people, huh?
Oh, and now I have a wanted level? I'm wanted for shooting and murdering people? I didn't even start this shit! I mean, okay, I kind of did, but I said sorry! Good thing you can literally just pay some money for your own wanted fine, and you're no longer wanted anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I murder somebody? Here, take this, make it go away.
Being that Valentine is a classic western town, you can do a number of activities including seeing the latest film technology, hanging out at the saloon, renting out a room at the hotel and or bathing there, or buying food and other items from the local shop, which are actually important as your stats will slowly drain as Arthur gets hungry. Same thing for your horse, who you'll have to regularly feed in order to keep at its best stats. You can also enter the sheriff's department, find wanted signs, and become a bounty hunter.
Trading in your metaphorical black hat for a white one. Yes, I know this hat's way too big on me. I have a small head, leave me alone.
Or you can slap that black hat right back on and hold up a store if you want. Just make sure to wear your bandana or face mask so nobody recognizes you, and you can escape without getting a wanted level.
I'm back, baby! Yes, I know this hat's even bigger on me. What?
As there's a huge amount of missions and side quests in Red Dead 2, and I have hours upon hours of footage, I'm only going to talk about important missions and ones that stood out to me. The first of these being A Quiet Time. Coming off of the mountain, the gang had sent Micah and Lenny off to scout various towns in the area. Micah, being the idiot that he is, caused a bunch of trouble and got captured, while Lenny managed to escape. So this sets up a mission where you need to break Micah out of jail. But before you do that, more importantly, time to get Lenny drunk.
Just one or two, right, Arthur?
Of course, just a drink. No big drama.
You know 1 or 2 drinks always means more. What precedes is my favorite drunk scene in any game I've played. Lenny keeps on disappearing, so you need to search for Lenny. Of course, when you do finally find Lenny... Lenny? The fuck are you? Ah.
Do I look like a Lenny to you?
How many of you had plenty?
Okay, I've been seriously drunk before, but never to the point where every person looked like one person. Right, Dave? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's just crazy.
While you have a great time here, Micah, on the other hand, Micah turns out to be imprisoned in the town of Strawberry, and in busting him out of jail, you automatically engage in a shootout with the law, as, shockingly, doing this is loud as hell. While Arthur wants to escape, Micah forces you further into town and deeper into the shootout, as he has unfinished business. Business, which turns out to be...
They had something of mine. My guns.
God damn it, Micah! You son of a bitch!
Oh, and what you'll probably be feeling about Micah is mirrored in the character of Arthur, who absolutely hates Micah both for this and other things he's done in the past that are similar.
Which is why I'm doing the world a favor when I say, Micah needs to go.
Not one of those gentlemen. Sounded like a party. Let's go. You got to do something, Arthur.
What the?
Of everyone you can shoot and kill in the game, you can't kill Micah. Damn you, game!
Heading back to camp after that disastrous news, you'll get more disastrous news. A letter from Arthur's ex.
Ugh.
She basically talks about how she left you for another man and got married, but now she's down on her... Jesus Christ! Is that a ghost? Who the hell is this monster? Beatrice Morgan. So, Arthur's mom.
Well, this is awkward.
But back to that whole ex-girlfriend thing, Mary Linton. As I was saying, now that she's down on her luck, she wants to meet with Arthur again. So, in meeting with Mary Linton, she tells you that her husband died of pneumonia, and even though she broke Arthur's heart, left him for another man, completely stopped talking to him, her father hates him and she listened to him, now that she's in trouble and her little brother needs his help, now she wants to talk to him again just so he can help her.
Where is it?
What can I say? I'm a softie.
As it turns out, her brother has joined a weird religious cult, and tracking him down leads to a shootout where you need to try and prevent him from committing suicide. It's actually a really fun mission, so... alright, I guess I'll give Mary a pass. Throughout these various missions, you'll get to know each member of your gang and their unique personalities, which really helps you feel a strong bond with the Vanderlyn gang. This includes the minor characters who hang out at the camp, who each serve their own purpose. Leopold Strauss, as an example, is essentially the gang's mafiosa-esque moneylender and will send you off to collect from the various poor saps who are dumb enough to borrow from an outlaw gang. So, time to find where they hid their money.
English.
Money's gotta be here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
But the good times aren't meant to last. As the gang is making so much noise, Leviticus Cornwall, the oil tycoon from before, is able to track everyone down to Valentine with his own hired gang, and a massive shootout ensues. Not only that, but the Pinkertons, a real-life detective agency founded in the 1850s, have tracked down the vicinity of your camp, even offering Arthur full protection if he gives up Dutch Vanderlyn, which of course he refuses.
Now, before I go on, I do want to note that there's going to be more spoilers ahead. So before I do that, I do want to give my overall synopsis of the game.
Red Dead 2 has plenty of issues, like its controls. It also has a massive open world with great missions in it and some fun things to discover, but not too much flexibility in how you can handle the tasks of the story missions as the game progresses linearly. That said, the writing on the game is fantastic, and Arthur is hands down one of my favorite video game protagonists. Antagonists?
I don't know.
That I've ever played. The game has some amazing shining moments, and I genuinely did love riding my horse around the gorgeous setting of the game and feeling like an outlaw. It's a game that has several flawed individual parts, but I can't emphasize enough that it's a game that's greater than the sum of its parts. As a full experience, I left the game with so many fond memories, and even had fun replaying it to capture footage for this video.
So there you go. That's my assessment. The video's not over. I mean, fuck, I still need to find Gavin.
So it's time to pack up camp and move on to the next chapter, Clemens Point and the town of Rhodes, an area similar to Louisiana and the American post-Civil War South, filled with rednecks battling over moonshine, racist former slavers you'll have the pleasure of throwing deeper into the dirt, and two dueling families, the Grays and the Braithwaites, who, according to rumor, are rich with Civil War gold. So Dutch and Hosea get to scheming that you'll get right in the middle of them and try to steal from both of them. What a great idea!
Wait.
Weren't we just trying to lay low? Like, literally just had to ditch Valentine because it was too hot? The fuck are you doing, Dutch? Hosea? Why?
I'm starting to regret sticking up for Dutch.
So you set about screwing over both families and trying to entice them to hate each other even further. This means setting the Grays' tobacco field on fire and stealing prize horses from the Braithwaites, which all goes about as well as you'd expect.
Yeah, they figure it all out. It's stupidly obvious.
In retaliation, the Braithwaites captured John Marston's son, Jack.
What kind of monster captures a child?
Oh, you done fucked with the wrong gang. And I'm serious here. This was, for me, the most badass moment of the game. The entire gang heads out to get Jack back, and at this point, you should be intimately familiar with all of them. Not only that, but what they're capable of, so this moment truly resonates as you exact your revenge. By murdering all of Catherine Braithwaite, the head of the family's children.
That's right. Burn this dog to the ground.
I feel like the punishment met the crime. She took Jack!
As it turns out, she gave Jack to Angelo Bronte, a crime lord in the bustling modern town of Saint Denis. And, of course, all of the noise you've made here leads you to once again needing to move camp, and this time closer to Saint Denis with the new goal of getting Jack back. Saint Denis leads to Dutch putting the gang through even more hijinks, despite how many people are now searching for us, because, you know, keeping a low profile is apparently too difficult for this idiot. And when Arthur starts to doubt Dutch,
Have some goddamn faith.
No.
fuck you, Dutch. I'm out. I'm gonna live my life as a badass Clint Eastwood bounty hunter and take in various bounties who kick and scream and whatnot. And while I'm doing... What the fuck? And there's a note in a severed head.
Yeah, that's not fucked up.
As it turns out, this is a map, but just part one of a map, meaning that there's gotta be more... Yep, more victims, murdered in the same way.
I believe what we have here is a serial killer.
Good thing Detective Arthur Morgan is on the case. In finding a third body, we can fully piece together the map, a taunt on the back that says, "Can you find me?" and the combination to a lock. This leads us to a rundown shack, and the shed we find drawn in the map with the lock. So, only one thing to do. Check what's inside. And behind the shed door, we find... A door. A door. Behind the shed is another door, which you can't interact with.
A door behind a door. Man had a dark, dark secret.
Some cases were never meant to be solved. Some men hide their secrets deep within doors. Within doors. Some men... oh wait, it was a glitch. All I had to do was reload my game and try again. So, yeah! Exploring inside, you find skulls littered throughout, a missing person's file, clearly of someone he'd kidnapped and horrifically murdered, and the sick bastard's workshop. You also find him as he knocks you out. Luckily, his gloating leads to an opportunity to strike back, and you're able to take the sick psychopath in for a giant reward. $20. Hey, you Dutch. I don't know why I left the gang. Spur of the moment mistake. Let's get back to whatever you had planned. Surely that can't be too bad.
Out of respect for the developers, I don't want to talk too much about what happens at the end of Red Dead 2, especially since the game just came out recently.
And Rockstar specifically has a policy against that.
But it has some great character building, which only strengthens Arthur's character and writing.
As the Vanderlyn gang starts to fall apart, Arthur goes further and further into his redemption mode, seeking to do what's right instead of just blindly following Dutch, as Dutch slowly grows more and more insane. It's some of my favorite writing in a game as you witness the events that cause these characters' changes and how it affects them differently, with everything bringing out the best in Arthur but the worst in Dutch.
So there you go, Red Dead Redemption 2. Oh shit! Gavin!
You'll never take me alive, you rat bastards!
Shut up. If you weren't wanted alive, you'd already be dead. Now, what have we here?
Oh!
Well, howdy, fellas. It looks like you have something that belongs to us.
Oh, is that right?
Gavin's a fine man. Never hurt nobody. Maybe took a few things that needed taken is all, but nothing bad. Why not let him go?
That's what I've been saying!
Shut up.
What he's done ain't no concern of ours. Fact of the matter is, he's wanted, so we're taking him in.
Way I see it, he ain't worth all that much wanted alive. So why don't you fine folk let him go and come and capture him again in a month? He's sure to be worth more then.
And if we don't?
You sure you wanna find out? The fuck?
I don't know! I was trying to aim and it suddenly shot!
Oh man, you moron! He's wanted alive.
What the hell are we gonna do with this?
I ought to just...
Jesus, Alex!
It was the controls! It was the controls!
As always, a huge thank you to everyone who supports me on Patreon. In particular this episode, I'd like to thank Fabian, Invidentia, Jason Buck, and Paul Copeland for the support. Additionally, a huge thanks to everyone involved in this episode who made it possible. My horse trainers, Courtney for the lessons, and Chasen, who was amazing on set, and Matt Newman, who always helps me produce and shoot these videos, and on this one in particular, I seriously don't know what I would have done without his help. If you have a chance, check out everyone who worked on this episode listed in the description, like my fellow outlaw, Alex Ray. She plays Mandy in the upcoming show Prime Meridian on the channel Moore Park FTVM, and also part of the Thousand Oaks theater production Growing Pains, a Cabaret. So check that out if you're in the area. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.